The philosophy of the Tao, tracing the source of existence and harmony. In this video, we will undertake a deep exploration of the most fundamental and profound concept in Lao Tzu's philosophical system. The Tao, often translated as the way, the path, or the principle. As the foundational text of Daoism, Lao Tzu's vision of the Tao is not merely an ancient historical artifact. It provides a universal, enduring model for understanding the ultimate reality, offering insights that resonate powerfully with Western inquiries into metaphysics and ontology. A comprehensive grasp of the Tao is essential for accessing the core of Eastern wisdom and for applying its principles of harmony and spontaneity to modern life. To truly understand the Tao, we must look beyond simple, surface-level definitions and explore its ontological depth, its nature as the ultimate source, the governing intelligence, and the unforced rule of all reality. The Tao is the inherent avenue, method, or principle by which all things in the cosmos exist, unfold, and reach their potential. It is the perfect, unforced path to perfection and the optimal law guiding all phenomena. Consider an elite professional athlete, such as an Olympic-level marathon runner or a competitive swimmer, whose career is defined by pushing the absolute limits of human endurance. When coaches or observers speak of the Tao of the athlete or the way of the champion, they are acknowledging far more than physical strength or a relentless training schedule. They are pointing to a deeper, almost subconscious principle: the athlete's ability to align their intense physical effort with the natural rhythm and biomechanical economy of their own body. This Tao is the intuitive knowledge that allows the runner to maintain the most efficient stride and breathing pattern, transforming painful exertion into a state of flow or effortless effort. It is the optimal principle, the path, that governs their performance, ensuring sustainability and peak function by avoiding the artificial, forced, or unsustainable efforts that inevitably lead to injury and burnout. The Tao, therefore, is this unforced optimal principle at work, ensuring the phenomenal activities, that is, athletic performance, achieves its absolute highest potential by respecting and leveraging its own inherent nature. Contrast the chaotic, reactive trading of a novice investor with the disciplined, patient strategy of a seasoned financial veteran, often referred to as following the way of the water in financial philosophy. A novice attempts to force the market, aggressively buying and selling based on fear or greed, believing they can impose their will on the unpredictable flow. They fight against the market's natural tendencies. The seasoned veteran, however, practices a form of financial wu-wei or non-action. They understand that the market, like a river, has an internal, spontaneous principle of movement. They do not try to command the river. They observe the current, identify the underlying systemic forces, the Tao, and place their assets in a position that aligns with the inevitable self-generated flow. They seek to move with the most efficient path, leveraging the market's own momentum instead of struggling against it. This patient, unforced approach, guided by an understanding of the underlying economic principle, is a perfect analog for the Tao, which teaches that true power is found not in aggression, but in seamless alignment with the governing way. Lao Tzu presents the Tao as a singular, foundational reality that existed in a state of primal potentiality before the heavens and the earth were ever separated. This is the realm of mixed and complete thing, characterized by an absence of all specific form, definition, or spatial temporal limits. To grasp this state, one must consider the philosophical necessity of the self-caused entity, the only thing in the universe that does not depend on an external factor for its existence. Every observable object in the phenomenal world, from a tree to a human being, is an extrinsic cause, meaning its existence is entirely contingent upon a cause that precedes it. If we trace this chain of contingency backward indefinitely, we encounter an infinite regress, which fails to explain why anything exists at all. Therefore, reality demands the existence of a first cause that is independent, self-sustaining, and requires nothing outside itself to be. The Tao is this self-caused principle, and by its very nature, it must be eternal and unchanging. For if it were capable of being changed or destroyed, it would require an external cause for that transition, thereby violating its definition as the ultimate source. This makes the Tao the secure, immutable foundation for all fleeting existence. Imagine a world-renowned architect before beginning work on a major urban project, such as a revolutionary new museum or a public park complex. The concept of the finished structure exists first not as concrete or steel, but within the pristine, unmarked pages of the architect's initial sketchbook. This sketchbook represents the Tao. On those blank pages, the museum possesses unlimited, yet undifferentiated potential. It could be a towering Gothic revival structure, a severe brutalist monument, or a futuristic minimalist glass sphere. It is every design and no design simultaneously. The moment the architect draws the first definitive line, choosing to affirm a specific design like a curving facade or a rigid grid, that act of differentiation simultaneously denies the infinity of possibilities that existed moments before. The Tao is the pure, unmarked potential of that sketchbook, the inexhaustible, self-sustaining source of all structure and ideas that is not dependent on the specific lines drawn, but sustains the very possibility of drawing any line at all. Consider a dessert dish created by a celebrated Parisian pastry chef, such as a signature millefeuille or a complex chocolate sculpture. The finished dessert, the object of taste and sight, is contingent upon 1,000 external factors. For example, the quality of the ingredients, the oven temperature, the skill of the execution. However, the concept of the dessert, the unique, original idea in the mind of the chef, is its internal self-caused entity. Before the chef touches flour or cream, the idea exists as an undifferentiated vision. This original concept is perfect and singular. It requires no external ingredient to define its possibility. If the concept were lost or changed by external pressure, for example, a last-minute request to use cheaper chocolate, the finished dessert would be flawed. The true, eternal way of that pastry lies in the self-contained, perfect concept which precedes and governs the entire material, contingent process of creation. The process of manifestation, the mediating forces of yin and yang duality. While the Tao itself is the ultimate unity, silent, void, and eternally unchanging, it serves as the source for all dynamic activity in the phenomenal universe. Lao Tzu describes the cosmic process by which the static Tao manifests the dynamic world through a crucial mediating sequence, moving from absolute unity toward specific form. This unfolding begins with polarization as the unified energy breaks into two complementary and opposing forces, known as yin and yang. This duality is essential, as existence requires tension and relationship to initiate change and generate form. Yin represents the feminine, receptive, yielding, cooling, and consolidating force, like the shadow or the reservoir. Yang represents the masculine, active, assertive, expanding, and warming force, like the sunlight or the engine. These two forces are not rivals to be eliminated, but inseparable aspects of the same unified reality, engaged in a constant, cyclical interplay. All activity in the cosmos, from the expansion and contraction of galaxies to the growth and rest of living organisms, is the result of the ceaseless, balanced friction between yin and yang. This tension is necessary because the phenomenal world, characterized by ceaseless motion and differentiation, cannot emerge directly from a state of absolute, static unity. It requires the active medium of duality to bridge the gap. Consider the process of groundbreaking academic research and the subsequent publication of a scholarly paper, particularly in fields like medicine or astrophysics. This process perfectly illustrates the dynamic of yin and yang. Yin, or the receptive force, is represented by the rigorous, passive, and consolidating work of data collection, verification, peer review, and statistical analysis. This force is highly structured, methodical, and resistant to premature conclusions. It holds and contains the research within established parameters, the receptive ground that ensures stability and accuracy. Yang, or the active force, is represented by the assertive, risk-taking energy of formulating the original hypothesis, pushing new theories, pioneering experimental methods, and the final, public presentation of the findings. This is the outward thrust to expand knowledge and challenge the status quo. For the research to be considered valid and impactful, it must be generated by a powerful yang, a bold theory, and then rigorously controlled and validated by an equally strong yin, meticulous verification, and peer review. If the research relies too heavily on yang alone, it becomes speculative and easily refuted. If it relies only on yin, it stagnates, never progressing beyond existing knowledge. The balanced, harmonious integration of these two forces is what allows a new truth to emerge spontaneously and sustainably. The emergence of form, harmony, and spontaneity as the cosmic rule for creation. The dynamic interplay of yin and yang does not merely result in perpetual tension. It leads to the crucial stage of harmony, often referred to as the third element, that mediates the duality. This harmonious state is the balanced integration of the active and receptive forces, which allows for the creation of stable, specific, and sustainable forms, the 10,000 things that constitute the universe. When the two forces meet in their optimal ratio, they achieve a state of optimal efficiency and self-completion. Crucially, the fundamental principle governing this entire creative flow is spontaneity or self-so. The Tao does not operate according to external command or rigid planning. It acts only according to its own inherent self-generated nature. This inherent self-rule is the philosophical root of Wu Wei, or non-action, which is a state of action that is so perfectly aligned with the natural tendency of things that it requires no forced effort, no friction, and no unnecessary struggle. The highest form of creation and governance, therefore, is achieved when all components are allowed to fulfill their purpose spontaneously, leading to the most elegant, complex, and enduring results. Consider the creation of a critically acclaimed dish by a master chef in a Michelin-starred restaurant. The complexity of the dish is a 10,000 thing, requiring perfect harmony in its construction. Yin, or the receptive force, is the structure of the dish, the passive elements like the precise temperature control, the perfect reduction of the stock, and the delicate balance of bitter and sweet. It is the groundwork that holds the dish together. Yang, or the active force, is the creative thrust, the assertive flavors, the sharp acidity, the innovative plating, and the precise timing of the final sear. It is the energy that drives the dish toward its final expression. The success of the dish is the result of the chef achieving the balanced blend. The acid, or yang, must precisely cut through the richness, yin, without overpowering it. This harmony allows the spontaneous essence of the ingredients, the perfect ripeness of a tomato or the tenderness of a cut of meat, to express itself fully. If the chef attempts to force a flavor that is not naturally present or to over-manipulate an ingredient beyond its nature, the harmony is broken and the dish fails. The greatest culinary art is achieved through wu wei, or non-action. That is, allowing the quality of the ingredients and the principles of flavor to spontaneously dictate the final, perfect outcome. In the modern technology sector, the core philosophy of Agile methodologies in software development perfectly mirrors the principle of the Tao following spontaneity. The successful creation of a large, complex software project, a 10,000 thing, does not rely on a rigid, top-down, waterfall plan. Traditional, rigid management is like trying to force a complex river to flow backward. When external factors, such as client needs and technological shifts, change, the stiff plan shatters, leading to immense friction, wasted effort, and project failure. The core of Agile is the self-organizing team, which embodies wu wei, or non-action. Team members representing the yin and yang forces are empowered to spontaneously adjust their priorities and workflows based on daily feedback and internal communication, which is blending a vital force for harmony. The team is not commanded by external rigid rules, but acts according to the inherent laws of the code and market needs. This self-so adaptability allows the software to evolve organically, with minimal external intervention, into the state most aligned with both client and technical requirements, achieving efficiency and resilience in complexity. In the Western tradition of jurisprudence, the concept of natural law provides an analogy for the Tao as the governing, non-man-made principle. Most laws are positive laws, which are specific statutes created by legislatures, that is, the human yang action. These laws are specific, subject to change, and often require aggressive enforcement to prevent violation. Natural law, the spontaneous, as championed by thinkers like Aristotle and Aquinas, posits that there is a higher, inherent, moral order discoverable through reason, the Tao. Principles like the inherent right to self-preservation or the duty to treat others with basic dignity are not legislated. They are self-so. They exist simply because human nature is what it is. Legal systems that attempt to align their positive laws with this inherent, spontaneous moral order are considered more just, harmonious, and enduring because they are not fighting the fundamental way of human nature. The closer the man-made rule adheres to the unforced, fundamental morality, the greater its stability and acceptance. The enduring value of the Tao, wholeness, eternity, and personal alignment. The philosophical value of the Tao extends far beyond the cosmic scale. It provides a profound, practical framework for resolving human anxieties rooted in the limits of existence. The Tao's ultimate significance lies in its capacity to offer a perspective of wholeness, or holism, in space and eternity, or atemporal reality, in time. As the unified, boundless field, the Tao helps the individual transcend the psychological limits imposed by their specific, finite circumstances. From this elevated Taoist vantage point, the perceived differences and conflicts of the phenomenal world, such as disparities in wealth, professional status, or geopolitical disputes, are revealed to be merely temporary and relative, existing only within the sphere of constant change. By understanding their intrinsic connection to the Tao, the individual is able to mitigate the existential dread and sense of separation that define human consciousness. The pursuit of the Tao, therefore, becomes the ultimate quest to move beyond the fear of mortality and the constraints of the material world. The goal is to reconnect the individual life force with the eternal principle, thereby dissolving the fundamental anxieties inherent in the fleeting nature of all specific forms. This deliberate alignment transforms human struggle into inner security. Consider a highly successful corporate executive who, despite achieving immense material wealth and professional status, suffers from intense stress and the pervasive fear that their life, when judged against the backdrop of history, is ultimately meaningless. This is a classic expression of modern existential nihilism. When the executive views their life from their limited temporal perspective, their 70 or 80 years of existence, their corporate victories, and their personal setbacks all seem minuscule and ultimately futile when measured against the billions of years of cosmic history. Their current worries about a quarterly report or a stock market dip feel overwhelming because they lack a stable, eternal frame of reference. Tao offers a radical therapeutic shift. It asserts that the individual consciousness is not isolated. It is a manifestation of the eternal, self-caused source. By embracing the Tao, the executive shifts their focus from the transient form, such as the corporate title, the bank account, to the enduring principle, such as the underlying consciousness and energy. The Tao teaches that true spaciousness is not measured by the size of their physical surroundings, but by the breadth of their inner perspective. By consciously accepting the atemporal reality of the Tao, the individual finds that their life, though temporally finite, is intrinsically connected to the infinite. They achieve a quiet security, realizing that their essence participates in a system that is fundamentally complete and beyond harm, allowing them to engage in the world without fear of ultimate loss. In the field of environmental science and conservation, the holistic principle of the Tao provides a necessary worldview. When a naturalist observes the loss of a single organism, say, a specific species of fish in a local river ecosystem, this event is viewed not as a solitary tragedy, but as a change in the wholeness of the system. The segmented view provides for a limited, fragmented perspective focuses only on the loss of the individual form. Whereas in the holistic view, the Tao teaches that the river ecosystem itself, as a complex, self-regulating 10,000 thing, is seeking a new balance. The loss of that species will inevitably lead to the spontaneous emergence of a new equilibrium among the surviving species, including predators, prey, and plants. While the individual form is gone, the principle of life and flow remains whole and unbroken. This perspective allows conservationists to work not by desperately trying to force the ecosystem back to a previous state, but by identifying the natural forces at play and aligning their actions with the inevitable long-term process of restoration or emergence. This acceptance of the enduring wholeness alleviates the paralyzing grief over the segment. The Tao is thus far more than a concept. It is the ultimate self-sustained reality that serves as the origin, the guide, and the final destination of all existence. It is the undifferentiated potential that initiates the universal process, generating the dual forces of yin and yang, which in turn manifest the world through a principle of unforced and spontaneous harmony. By establishing the Tao as the unchanging, eternal source, Lao Tzu provides a timeless and profound philosophical solution to the pervasive human anxieties surrounding change and ultimate non-existence. To follow the Tao is not a passive withdrawal from the world. It is the active, intelligent alignment of one's consciousness and actions with the universe's inherent wisdom. This practice replaces striving, chaos, and fragmentation with effortless efficiency, inner security, and an enduring sense of comprehensive peace.